everyone, Amber here from Sew Majestic. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited because we are starting our first sew along for Sew Majestic on YouTube and in correlation with my Facebook group. And we are sewing up the Eileen pool tote. So this is what it looks like. I have two different samples here. This one's water resistant canvas or waterproof canvas and vinyl, and it has our clear slip pocket and mesh pockets, and the same with this one here. Inside there's also a zipper pocket and a slip pocket. Both of these also have a crossbody option. That's why you see the D-rings, but I do not have them attached. These are not the ones that we are sewing up in all of these instructions. I don't have it completely sewed yet because I'm doing it over the course of 4 days. So if you are catching this video at the end of April 2024, we are just starting our sew along and you can join in. So over the next 4 days, I'm going to be posting a video on YouTube cutting out the materials, then building the exterior, the interior, and then putting it together. And then in my Facebook group, we're going to post our pictures. And at the end, I'm going to draw a random name for a gift card to the shop. So please feel free to join along. I do have a separate video that has the tutorial for the whole pool tote. Actually shows me making this one here. So that is available if you are looking for the full tutorial. And it also does have timestamps. All my videos that are full tutorials come with timestamps. So I hope you'll join me. I'm going to have the Facebook group linked below. Let me know in the comments what materials that you're picking out. I'm so excited to see the pictures and I hope you enjoy. All right, so I have my cutting mat set up on my table here. Honestly, normally I cut on the floor so I can spread everything out around me. But I'm going to make this work for filming. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is I have water resistant canvas. It's water resistant. It does not have the PVC backing. So I am going to use this for like my main exterior. And I'm debating if I want to keep it folded. I could cut two at once probably. This is the pattern piece A for the exterior and interior. I think I'm going to do this. I can cut two at once. So I'm going to try to save time. And the other thing is that choose materials that you like. Even though I'm using water resistant canvas, I'm going to have some vinyl. I've made this with quilting cotton. You can make it with anything and you can adjust the interfacing any way that you want as well. So don't be afraid to mix and match things if it's not the same as myself. And actually what I just realized, if I cut it like this will be upside down. All right. So I'm going to have to cut them separately, or I guess I could fold it the other way, but I'm just going to cut them separately. It's what I would normally do anyways. So I'm just lining it up with the edge because I prefer to waste as little as possible. If you have like a particular fabric and you are fussy cutting, you definitely can do that. Oops, sorry, just whacked my camera. And I'm just using paper cutouts. These are in a cut chart in the pattern as well. I don't like using cut charts, especially if you do not have a ruler and rotary cutter. Sometimes it's really hard to fold the fabric. So my patterns always have the full pattern pieces as well as a cut chart. All right, so we have one piece that's going to be part of our exterior. And you'll see as we go further, you might be like, why is this coming down here? We're putting vinyl over it. I actually left it in the pattern because I feel like it makes your bag stronger. It has more material to connect to. And I don't know about you, but I load up my pool or beach totes. So I always want it as strong as possible. Okay, and so we need 2 of the exterior. So if you're catching this, this is for the sew along that starts on April 26th, 2024 in my group. If you're looking for the full tutorial, I do have a full tutorial with timestamps already on my channel. This one's going to be broken up over 4 days, and we're going to be posting our pictures in my Facebook group. So please feel free to join. And if you want to let me know in the comments what materials you're choosing, I would love to know that. So I'm at the end of my mat over here. And I know sometimes it's hard to get like perfect cuts, especially if you see my paper's wrinkled. I'm not using pattern weights or anything, but I feel like those are things that are easily hidden, especially in this type of pattern. And then the other thing here, you'll notice on the side, I have a little bit of the selvage. I'm not worried about that because that is going to get hidden in the seams. All right, so that completes my 2 main exterior pieces. I do have some more that I want to use this fabric for, so I'm going to grab those pattern pieces real quick. Okay, so I've grabbed 3 more pattern pieces. I have grabbed the interior slip pocket piece I, the exterior zipper pocket top, and then that is piece F, and then the piece E, the exterior zipper pocket bottom. So inside my bag, I am going to have 1 slip pocket on one side and a zipper pocket on the other. And I'm just going to use plain fabric you'll see for the lining. So I want my zipper pocket to be, my slip pocket to be fun. So I'm going to use this for the exterior or the outside part of the slip pocket. I'm going to do the lining plain since you won't see it. So I'm cutting 1 of these right now. And like I said, I'm not going to interface any of these pieces. If you want a more sturdy and structured bag, feel free. For me, like a pool tote or a beach tote just gets like thrown in my car, squished down, and then used when needed. So I don't mind that it's not structured. Okay, so this is going to be our slip pocket. And then for... Oh, look, I accidentally cut into a piece over here. Then for the front, we have a zipper pocket. On one side, it's mesh and clear pockets. On the other, it is a zipper pocket. So I'm going to make this the zipper pocket. This is going to be the front. I'm not worrying about if it lines up and matches like with the flamingos line up. But if that's important to you, you could also fussy cut this. And again, for this, I'm going to do my lining plain since it's not really visible. And then this is the top, because this turns into a slip pocket, zipper pocket combo. Okay, so I have those two pieces here now, all set to the side. And I am done, I think, with this flamingo fabric for now. So I'm going to fold that up and set it to the side and grab my next pieces. All right, so I have grabbed 3 more pattern pieces. My exterior vinyl for the bottom piece B, my clear vinyl pocket piece D, and the mesh pockets piece C. So I am going to start with my vinyl. I have this vinyl here I'm going to use. It's a sparkly pink, and I think it's going to look nice against the flamingo fabric. And actually, I'm just going to double check. Yeah, this is going to fit on a 12-inch roll. So I'm going to cut both my pieces. And this one has a soft, like, fuzzy backing. So I actually am going to later on cut some interfacing for this. Just because it's the bottom of my bag, I do want it a little bit sturdy. If I was using one of the vinyls that have, like, the canvas backing, I probably would not interface it. But this one is really flimsy with the soft felt-like backing. I forgot what kind of vinyl or what this is called, but this one came from My Punk Embroidery. Probably need to put a new rotary blade in it. All right, and then this should fit perfect. So if you have a 12-inch roll of vinyl, you should be good. And I'm also going to do a zipper pocket inside. And I include a overlay for that. It comes as a SVG file. I normally cut with my Cricut, but I might just cut it by hand. So I'm going to set this to the side. So I actually have I haven't even cut it out because, like I said, I usually use my Cricut. But I'm going to cut that out in a minute and trace it on and cut by hand. Okay, so I have traced my zipper overlay onto the vinyl. So I'm going to cut it out in 2 different ways. I'm going to use, I lined it up with the straight edge already. So I'm going to use my rotary cutter for the part that is straight. And then I'm going to use my scissors for the rest. And that just helps me be more accurate with the curve. Especially if you don't have a cutting machine, like you absolutely do not need one to do zipper overlays. and then I'm just carefully cutting out the rest on the curve. And if you want to edge paint this, you absolutely could do that. I'll probably just burn the edges because it's fuzzy and it's inside. If it was like an exterior piece, then I definitely would edge paint just to make it look as professional and clean as possible. You can see on my hand I've gotten all this marker all over it. It's a water soluble, which is like my favorite to use because it comes off. But this particular brand that I got comes off on my hands all the time. And I'm just being really particular, but you can see like I didn't line up the ruler exactly straight. So I'm just going to trim this tiny piece off now. All right, so now that I have my zipper overlay, I'm going to set this to the side. All right, so next up, I am going to cut my mesh pockets, and we need 2 of them. This mesh I actually got from a supplier as a sample to possibly carry in the shop. It works fantastic. You could also like buy Annie's carries mesh and matching fold over elastic. That's also beautiful and works well. And so we need 2 of these mesh pockets. I always find mesh like so funny to cut. I can never tell if it's like actually being cut as my blade goes over it. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna set these to the side, shove 2 of them. Get this out of the way. Okay, and then we also need a clear vinyl pocket. You could also make this not clear. You would need, it's like a slip pocket. You would just have to do a exterior and a lining. So I'm using this TPU. If you have TPU, you never want to take this this film that comes off around it. That keeps it so the paint doesn't stick to itself. So do not unwrap that until you're ready to use it. And we only need 1 of these. This is our plant leaves print available in the shop. And I just think it matches the tropical palm trees and flamingos so well. So I clearly did not push down hard enough when I cut this side, so let me redo that. Again, it's probably my clue to change my rotary blade. Great. Perfect. So this was pattern piece D, and you need 1 of them. All right, and I'm going to use this green waterproof canvas. This one comes from Walmart. I'm hoping I have enough for the whole bag. I think I do. This is the ProTuff brand. It has the PVC backing on the back. It's like $5 a yard at Walmart, and I always stock up whenever I go. I think it works great, gives structure, and I'm just trying to see if I'll have enough, which I'm not sure that I will. All right, I'll just have to be very strategic when I cut it or use different pieces. So again, this is back to our exterior pattern piece A, or exterior interior. So this is the same one that we cut the flamingo lining with, and we are going to cut 2 of the linings as well. So I'll be cutting 2 of these out. Like I said, I'm going to try to use this for all my pocket linings as well. And like I was trying to do earlier, this I probably definitely could have cut on the fold. But since I'm trying to make sure I have enough of all of it, and did not. Wow, this fits almost perfect. Okay, and I'm just trying to, I matched it up with the top there. I cannot wait to see everyone's bags. It always amazes me the different combinations that people choose. And I love when people post what they make in our Facebook group. Look, again, I just don't do what I'm doing and cutting onto yourself with it folded. All right. So this is our second one. We're done with that pattern piece. So I'm going to move that out of the way. Now this is our interior zipper pocket, piece J. I don't think I have enough of this, so I'm going to have to grab a different color or look at my scraps. What I want to do now is my slip pocket, which is pattern piece I. Which again, I might need to use a different piece. That's fine. You can see this is kind of my process. I probably won't edit it out because I just want you to be able to see how I am figuring out what is going to work. All right, so we need pattern piece G and H. Those are slip pocket linings and zipper pocket linings. They are definitely going to fit on here. And I'm just trying to see the best place to use them. Like I said, I try to be as economical as possible. And it fits almost perfect here. Great, and we only need one of each of these.
Sure.
And I'd love to know in the comments, do you do what I do and kind of like get as much as possible out of every piece of your fabrics? All right, so we have both of those slip pocket and zipper pocket linings. I'm going to set them to the side, and I'm going to find some waterproof canvas that's going to fit those other two pieces. All right, so I found two different scraps of some ProTuff, again, the waterproof from Walmart. So this black one was long enough for this slip pocket. So I am going to use that for the backing or the lining of my interior slip pocket. I'm just debating which way has, again, the least amount of waste. And I chose black because I could also, it's not big, this piece is not big enough for both the zipper pocket and the slip pocket lining. But I'm choosing the black for the slip pocket because the outside of the slip pocket is going to be the flamingos. So the black here will match the black stripes in the flamingos. Great, and so now I have that lining for pattern piece I. And for pattern piece J, this is the interior zipper pocket. I have this teal color. I really love this color. I think it's beautiful. Again, the ProTuff. And because it's the interior zipper pocket and is not going to be seen, well, until you open it, and then I don't think anyone pays attention. So I'm going to use this for that interior zipper pocket. Then I also use even more of my scraps from my scrap pile. Okay, so the last things that you'll need and have to cut are fold over elastic. This one that I'm using and I have in the shop is 3/4 of an inch. It's a little smaller than the 1 inch that people use for binding, but it works great for just the top where we're going to do like a trim. You need 2 zippers. These are not cut to size yet. They're just scraps that I had. They're both size 5, and you're going to need 2 pulls. So I'm going to use 1 flamingo and 1 palm tree. All of that is in the shop as well. And then 1.5 inch hardware if you're going to do the crossbody strap. So I don't carry 1.5 inch. This is from Mormino. And if you are doing a crossbody strap and the handles, you're going to need 5.5 yards of webbing. If you're not doing the crossbody, then you need a little bit more than 3 yards. And I cut 2 pieces already to about 4 inches that are going to be my D-ring holders as well. And this is also in the shop. It's 1.5 inch webbing. 1.5 inch webbing is required. If you are only going to use 1 inch webbing, you're going to have to do some math because this is used to cover seams. So you'll have to make some adjustments so it hides your seams if you're only using 1 inch. So that is all the extra materials besides the fabric that you'll need for the bag. Okay, so just to recap, to make sure you have everything cut, you need your 2 exterior vinyl pieces for the bottom or whatever material you're going to use for the bottom. And I am going to cut the interfacing for that in a minute because that's the only piece I am interfacing. You need your front zipper pocket exterior and the exterior top, as well as the lining. You should have the zipper pocket lining and the slip pocket because this flamingo is turning into a slip pocket as well. So that's one side of the bag. The other side has your 2 mesh pockets. So you need 2 pieces of mesh and your clear pocket. So 1 piece of clear vinyl, or if you wanted to do it all mesh, you could do another mesh. For the inside, we have our zipper pocket lining. We have our zipper overlay. We have our slip pocket for the interior and the lining. And then we have our 2 exterior main panel pieces and 2 linings for the exterior. Like I said, please feel free to mix and match materials. You can't really go wrong as long as you're, being mindful that if you're actually using it near a pool, it may get wet. And definitely feel free to ask any questions in the comments or in the Facebook group. All right, and the last thing that I'm going to do is I have some interfacing here. This is Sew Fuse Plus from Castine Handcrafted. I'll link it below. I'm going to use that on our vinyl. And I'm just going to do 1 layer, which will give it some structure. Not a ton, but you could use any interfacing that you have or you see fit, like SF101, some Decoville. You could even do foam if you wanted it really sturdy. I just want a little bit of structure, so I'm going to use this, and I'm using my pattern piece B. If you are worried that your machine will not be able to handle the layers, then definitely cut it out of the seam allowance. My machine will be able to go through it. I'd be more worried if I was using foam or Decoville. Then I would definitely cut it out. And as you can see, this is like super, super wide. It's a really good deal. I got this at Sew Magical Expo a while ago, and I used it quite a bit, and I still have a lot left. And also, the way that I'm doing the video, I'm just trying to let you guys see how my brain works and how I cut everything. I'm a really big proponent of use what you have that works for you in your machine. You do not need to go out and get all the high-end stuff. It might make it easier to have, like, for example, an industrial or something, but using the products that you have at home, like, don't feel bad about it. If anything works great, as long as you are building it together and you understand what it will look like. So for me, I know my bag is going to be more floppy with the materials that I'm using. All right, and then I'm going to show you real quick how I attach this to the vinyl piece as well. Okay, so I am just attaching the Sew Fuse Plus to my 2 vinyl pieces. As you can probably tell, I am sitting on the floor. I'm actually really comfortable here working. That's what I normally do. I do have a Cricut Easy Press that I sometimes use, but for this, I'm just going to use my iron. If I was doing a lot, I would use my Easy Press, but for this, it's just 2 small sections. I also have a Teflon sheet that I'm going to put over when I'm fusing it. I have this because I have a Cricut and I do a lot of crafting, so it's just helpful to not put your iron directly on it, but you could use like a towel or another piece of material to just kind of create like a buffer between it. And depending on the material, you want to test a small piece first. You might not even need this. So I'm pressing from the back just because I don't want to put my iron either with the Teflon sheet against the plasticky side. So I just am covering the area and holding the iron in place for a few seconds, putting some slight pressure down on it. You don't want to iron like back and forth like you're like ironing clothes. And then depending on the material, sometimes they stick right away. Like this one just fused really fast. Sometimes it needs a little bit longer. So definitely something to check and test out before you do your whole piece. I've definitely melted vinyl more times than I can count. So it is fused, and obviously I'm going to trim off the little bit of edges and stuff here where the white is showing, but looks good from the front, nothing melted. And you can see that I am just holding the iron only like no longer than like maybe 5 seconds in each spot. And I do have my iron on the highest setting. Could probably do it a little bit lower, because when I picked that one up, it definitely like was very hot on my hand. And I don't have water in it. I'm not using steam. Steam will definitely like shrink and warp your materials. Even though, like, you know, vinyl is like not cotton or anything, it's plastic. I do notice that it warps with steam. All right, so that is our last step in prepping for our pool toe. All right, so we have just finished cutting out our materials. I'm so excited for the fabric and the vinyl that I chose. Please go to the Facebook group and post your pictures. Let me know if you are joining in the sew along. I cannot wait to see what you've chosen. It brings me so much joy seeing everybody's options. They're limitless with between the zipper pulls, fabric, hardware, and so again, if you're catching this at the end of April, you still have time to join in the Facebook group. We are doing a sew along with a gift card giveaway at the end for everybody who participates. So I have that all linked below. If you are enjoying the videos, please consider subscribing or giving it a like. It helps my channel grow, and I appreciate it so much. Thanks. See you tomorrow.